1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8.
Welcome back to yet another YouTube video. It's your number one photographer, Tiso Captures, and today I want to talk about content creators and content creation. And the reason I want to talk about this thing, I want to help someone who is starting into photography or any other type of content creation, or those people who have already made it in the content creation world. And so without further ado, let's do the intro.
When I wake up, what do there? Is this even real? Only thing that kept my heart beating. No one said things, so stay wide awake. Only come out at night, but we're still looking for a sign. So when I wake up, I can't help but to wonder, is this even real?
So talking about content creation, I want to basically talk about the photographers, videographers, filmmakers, YouTubers, TikTokers, and all other these people. The reason as I want to do this video, the reason as to why I am doing this video, you know, the time that I was starting my photography back in 2019, I used to DM many photographers who had already started the photography business or had already made their name in the photography business, and most of them would give me answers that would not help me personally. Like, I remember I DM'd one photographer, I'll not mention the name. I DM'd him and asked him for advice on how I could grow up in I could grow my photography business. And I remember what he told me. He told me that for him to give me such kind of advice, I should pay for his time vitukaa hizo, and it really did hurt me. And so with time I went back to YouTube. You know, in YouTube many people are doing content creation and they are helping people who cannot help themselves, people who do not have the foundation to do something. And the reason as to why I'm saying this is there are many YouTubers who have made it in the YouTube business, many photographers and many filmmakers and TikTokers. All these people who are doing content creation, and at the end of the day, tukisaidiana, or when we help each other, we are all going to make a difference in the world. But everybody wants to be their own personal best photographer, but at the end of the day, you know, we cannot share clients. You know, people who are always like, for example, when I ask a photographer, hey, I DM'd a photographer a while back around this year and asked him I asked him to tell me the location of the location where he had done the shoot, but he was hesitating telling me the location, and I ended up finding the location. And the reason, I'm always concerned about the reason as to why people are always hard to tell people the locations and things like this. Okay, when we come back to YouTube, in Kenya, YouTube business picked up around last year when people left their jobs or were fired because of the COVID-19, and many people came up in YouTube. Maybe most of them are like couple YouTubes, content creators who are like photographers, travelers, and people who are comedians. And for people like me, the ones who are trying to make it up in the YouTube business or make it up the food chain, you find us most of the time that we don't have the kind of advice or the proper advice for us to grow in the YouTube business. Like for me, I'd given up in doing the YouTube vlogs or the YouTube videos like this one, but with time you come and realize the reason as to why you started something, or the reason or the purpose as to why you're doing something. And for me, I want to do something that is going to create a difference in the world. I want to do something that I want to use my photography or my YouTube or any other thing that I might be doing now or in the future. I want to do it for the purpose of creating a difference in the world. And I would want people, the content creators, to be like they be supportive in the things that we do. Like you see the filmmakers or the YouTubers from other countries, you see them come together and do videos and collaborate in other things. And you see like a photographer, or not a photographer basically, but a YouTuber who was at the low of the food chain, they help each other and they gradually grow in the YouTube business. So it's not going to be a very long video, but basically I want to tell people that to say Diane, we help each other and they grow in the YouTube video. So thank you for your time, and I'll be posting many videos very soon. Thank you.
This could be us.
So back to what I was saying.
Could be us.